All right, all right. Testing, testing. All right, I'm live. All right, guys. On this video, I'm going to give you the Diddy sentenced to 50 months. Here's the breakdown. Projected release 2028. Let me see, 25. Yeah, his projected release date is 2028. Because he got 2 years, 2 months. I even broke it down to the very last month. So it's like 2 years, 2 months. Out of 50 months. And then he also has 5 years of supervised release. I guess the supervised release is to make sure he stay on the straight and narrow and go from there. But I don't even agree with that either, man. I mean, because if he got a certain amount of time, by the time, let me see, he gets out, he don't have that much time left. So I don't know, but he agreed to it though. He agreed to the supervised release. But we're going to get into the real deal on what he is now, what's ahead of him right now. So this is kind of part 2 to my video. Now, here's the thing. I couldn't go live outside of the courtroom because, all right, it was my mistake. I went live early this morning and I was live in the car and I didn't realize that whole time I was in the car, I didn't have my phone on the charger. So, man, I felt some kind of sick. When I got to the building, I was still recording. And then I told you guys, let me stop recording because I'm about to wait online and go in the building. When I checked my phone, I was at 1% battery. I was like, man, I felt like walking back to my car to charge my car a little bit, but I had to park in the parking garage. And come to find out, I really didn't have to move my car all of a sudden. Because when I was walking to my car, I saw the same officer. He said, you didn't even have to move your car. He said, you could have parked there. He said, we didn't know that on this day you guys could have that street. He said, we didn't know. We just saw all these cars here. And he said, we thought we were going to write a lot of tickets. So I was like, dog, man, because I could have used that to go charge my phone so I can get y'all some footage in the aftermath. But my homegirl picked up some footage, so I'll let y'all see some of that. So yeah, man, it was, guys, first of all, I just want to give you like a backstory again. It was so many people there. It was that was the most people I ever seen in the federal building. They had multiple overflow rooms today. I was on the 15th floor today. Because when the guy said, yeah, go to the 15th floor, I said, the 15th floor? I said, I'm here for the Diddy sentencing. He said, I know. He said, we reserve the 15th floor as well. Because usually I go to the 24th floor or the 23rd floor. But this time it was the 15th floor. Back is doing better. Thank you. So you say get a travel charger for things. I do have one, but I left everything in my car because I wasn't trying to check everything in the building. I didn't want to check everything. And I left everything in the car. Cause if I had parked on the street, it would have been better, which I could have stayed on the street. It was so many people in that building. I had to wait online. But when I was trying to get in the building, I was online for about an hour. And by the time I actually got to the court, they had started as soon as I got to the court. So I was like, all right, cool. As soon as I sat down, I saw that they were talking. I saw Diddy sitting there. And then they got started. So I actually made good time. And, of course, there was a few disruptors outside today. MTA lady, she got arrested. Yeah, she got arrested. Her and another guy. They both got into it. and they both got arrested. So that's what happened with her. She was chilling like when I saw her, but apparently when I went in, that's when it happened. So she didn't get a chance to see nothing. She was taking the bookings. There was another guy out there yelling and just doing the most out there, and he was selling wolf tickets out there. That's what he was doing because nobody was like everybody. When nobody weren't paying him no mind. And at one point, he's like, "Yeah, I need to get my gun." He said, "I need, you know what I'm saying? I need to get my gun." I'm like, "What the hell is he on?" He said he want to get his gun. He said it right in front of the police, and they were looking at him like, "Oh yeah." But I heard he got taken in as well to custody, so it was crazy. Um, you said Diddy will actually serve 36 months with good behavior and get out in 2.5 years. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, 2.5 years more, give or take a few months. So yeah, you're right. We're gonna get into that and what else it means for him, moving forward. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something real quick. The judge, when he, you know how the judge give their remarks before they give you your sentence, you know how they just talk to you, bruh. The way the judge was talking, the judge is by the book, but he's fair too. He was like, um, he said the state is recommending. He said the government is recommending this certain amount of time. He said, however, I do acknowledge that the defendant doesn't have a record. He said, so I can't apply all that time to him because he's not a repeat offender. So he was fair on it because he was like, that's going to be a unfair and unjust sentence. So he said that'll fall along the lines of a fair and unjust sentence. So I can't do that. He said, but 60 months is more like it. However, he took more time off and he said, okay, I'm going to give you 50 months. Okay. I'm going to give you 50 months. So once he said that, everybody was looking around like, okay, because now you can start doing the math. So if he got 50 months, he gets credit for 12 months already spent in custody, which is around 13 months. I believe it's around 13 months he's already received. So there's no parole in the federal system, but inmates can earn good conduct time up to 54 days per calendar year, roughly 15% off. For a 50-month sentence, that's about 7.5 months off, leaving roughly 42.5 months to serve. Subtract the 13 months already served, and that's 30.5 months left. That equals 2 years, 6.5 months. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I happen to know about this. I had a family member that was caught up in the system, so I know about it. So, like I said, 7.5 months off, leaving roughly 42.5 months to serve. Subtract the 13. They say 12 months, but subtract 13 months. And that's about 30.5 months left, which comes out to roughly 2 years and 6.5 months, give or take. It just depends on how much time he gets shaved off if he gets in another program. Because there's another program my cousin say he can get into and get some more time shaved off. So that puts his projected release window around spring of 2028. The exact date will be set by the Bureau of Prisons, as you know, the BOP, and can shift a bit with jail credit bookkeeping. Halfway house, remember this, halfway house / home confinement near the end. And whether he's eligible for any additional program credits, like I had just said. There's another program he can get in that can get more time shaved off. So I know people are saying that he got 2 years and about 2.5 years left. That's not necessarily true. Once he get to his spot, he'll get in a program, which he can get in a program now, and that'll shave some time off as well. And then also, um, the bottom line is the sentence, like I said again, is 50 months, which is 4 years, 2 months. Time already served. Well, they keep saying 12 months. Let's just say 12. Estimated time remaining 30 to 31 months, 2.5 years. Post prison, 5 years supervised release, and a $500,000 fine. Now, remember this: 5 years supervised release and a $500,000 fine. Yeah, I ran into Gina today. Truth, I was in the lunchroom with Gina today. Yep, I was in the lunchroom with her. Um, I was in the lunchroom with the whole family. Actually, they were walking by, talking to people, like that. The girls was really proud of speaking up for their father today because people were saying to the girls, "Yo, you did good today." They really did, and they was smiling. They said thank you, and like they were like happy about that. But you could tell they were nervous, but they represented for him. I tell you that much. But here's the bottom line. So the business is this: he has a right to appeal. Now I know some people I was just talking to earlier saying that, damn, by the time he finish appeals, he'll be out. Well, not necessarily. He still has the right to appeal. Some people say it don't make no sense for him to appeal. Yes, it does make sense. That's his right to appeal. Let me tell y'all something real quick, and I learned this from family members that was in there. You always have action in court. You just have to get in the law library, which for him, he got money to get lawyers researching for him. You always have action. And he got action because he got Alexandra Shapiro. He got action because she used to run the appellate division up there in the Southern District. She used to run it. So she got pulled up there. And when he was charged, he had already planned for this, that he would have to appeal just in case. It was an emergency. And I believe that's why he hired her. And so they already said they're writing up the appeal now. They're working on that appeal. So that's his right. He has a certain amount of days to file his appeal, and then it'll move forward. It's not that it's a waste of his time. It's his right to appeal, and the system knows that. And what they're doing, they're looking for errors in his case. They're gonna go through once they get the transcript. They're gonna go through the case with a fine tooth comb to see if there's any errors in his case. But they're going to fight this conviction. They're going to fight it because they say he ain't no pimp. They're going to fight this. And these people are going to fight this all the way to the top. They're going to fight it. And Jason Driscoll, his attorney, which is he's the youngest on the team. Oh, he killed it today. When he got up, oh, he was all business. He said, I read all 900 cases and I can't find one case where you guys are recommending this much time. He said, I went through 900 cases. Okay. So that's where he's at. Now, it's up to the appeals on whether he's going to get relief there. It's up to them. So um that's his right. And you never know what happens. Jason Driscoll, man, he was on his job today. Oh, and people congratulated him in the courtroom, like, bro, you were on point, man. And then the prosecutor admitted, she said, yeah, he's right on that one case where, but she admitted that he was right about something. He was just sitting up there serving them. And he also corrected the judge. He said, Judge, I know you said this, but no, it's not that. And the judge said, I understand. He said, I understand what you were saying. The judge was, he listened to everything and he was fair. Um, he and then Diddy got up and spoke. He was the last to speak for the day. After everybody, the prosecutors, everybody, the judge saved Diddy for last. So they took a break. Before he spoke, they said, "Yo, you guys want to take a break? Maybe your client needs a break to go over things." They said yes. So then when they came back from the break, the judge like, "Mr. Combs, you're up now." He said, "But take your time." He said, "Take your time whenever you're ready." So they waited. So he was looking at his paperwork. He's like, "All right." So he stood up and he did what he had to do. He was remorseful. Now, whether you think he's remorseful or not, he did say it. So he had to say that. He saved himself some time by admitting it. He's remorseful. So now you might say, well, if he's remorseful, then he certainly is guilty. That's not, he's remorseful for the domestic violence and what he put them through. But he ain't saying that he guilty of the Mann Act. He ain't saying all that. So, but he was like, I for sure put them through some shit. I sure did. And there's no way I can repay them. There's no way I can take this back. There's no way. He said, I hurt them. And he said, there's nothing. He said, I know. He said, I know right. He said, and I know right from wrong. He said, I knew better. He said, he knows right from wrong. He said, ain't like, he said, yeah, I was high and everything, but I knew right from wrong. He said, yeah, I was high out of my mind. He said, this is the first time I've been clean in 25 years. However, he said, however, I know right from wrong. I shouldn't have done it. He said, I wish there was a pic of him now. Just think of him as the same, but gray hair. Yeah, he's the same, just like that picture right there, but he has gray hair. His hair is white. Do I think there would be more charges against him? I don't know. Well, you mean more civil charges, civil complaint, or criminal? Because there are new civil cases. Well, even the judge said it was too much. Fly Gemini. The judge said he hasn't been convicted of it. He said this is his first. His record was clean prior to this, so he couldn't give him that because he said that would have been excessive. Um, I don't know about criminal. I don't know, but I mean civil, probably so. More cases probably coming, but for sure. Um, so he said it. He was like, "I know right from wrong." He said, He said I shouldn't have done it." He said I shouldn't have done it. He said, "Yeah, I was high, but however, things got crazy, and he said I had control over it. I shouldn't have done it." You know, and he was he held himself accountable. I think that might have helped him out too with the judge. But let me tell you what the judge said to his kids, though. He said to them, he said, "I commend you from coming up here." He said, "It's a hard thing to do to speak in front of us." He said, "But I needed to hear from you." He said, "I needed to hear this. It was important." He said this to him. He said, "It was important that I hear from you." That's what he told them, and they looked at him and shook his head, and they were like, he said, "Yeah." He said, "Guys," he said, "I really needed to hear from you, and I appreciate you." And that made them feel good. That made the kids feel good. Like the judge, like acknowledged them. You could tell they was like their spirits was lifted when he said that. He said, "Listen, I really needed to hear from you today." He said, Your response was needed." Um, so that's what he said. He said, "I just want to thank you guys for each of your statements." But he said, "I know it was a hard thing to do for coming up here." And they were still standing there listening to him while he was acknowledging them. He said, "I know it was a hard thing to do, but he said this was important and I needed to hear from you. This was important." Because he took that in consideration. That girl said, "Please save my daddy. Please." She said, "Please save his life. Please." She said, "We're scared. We're scared. And please, like, help him. Please." She said, he's all we got. And the judge, when he was acknowledging him, his voice was cracking. That got to the judge, especially when the girls was talking. It got to him. I know it did. I know it did. I know it got to him. He said, but I really appreciate you. I needed to hear from you. And then when Diddy got up, he turned to his family and he named them all one by one. He said, I am very sorry. He said, I should not have put you through this, and I'm wrong for this. He said, I don't even deserve you guys. He said, I'm mad at myself and I hate myself for it. And so when he said that, the judge felt that. And when the judge sentenced him, the judge said, hey, listen, Mr. Combs, I know you're in a dark place right now. I know you are. But you're gonna have to get through it because you have a voice that can help people. The twins are staying in California. They all stay in California. And yeah, he said, I apologize to each and every one of you. He said, I apologize. You said you're making Mr. Feel It. He said, you're making Mr. Feel It. You're making Mr. Feel It. You're making Mr. Feel It. Damn, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But yeah, he said that. He was like, I apologize to each and every one of you. I'm wrong for this. And he said, I'm sorry for putting you guys through this. You said, sorry, me. You're making me feel it. Yeah, he said to the kid, he said, listen, he named them one by one. He said, I'm sorry for putting y'all through this. He said, y'all don't deserve this. And I shouldn't have put y'all through this. And he started crying. That was crazy. Right? Yo, there was grown people in that courtroom crying with him. I saw it. It was people crying. And it was this person from Fox News like, this some bullshit, man. It was a reporter from Fox that said it. He said, this is bullshit. He said, this is excessive. This is bullshit now. He said, yes, the man is guilty. Yes, he's guilty, but this is bullshit. He said, this is bullshit, man. He said it. He said, damn. He said, I don't know Diddy like that, but he said, damn, man, what's right is right now. He said, how much time you gonna get this man? But but look, this was what really it almost got me when his daughter, it was Delilah. It was either Jesse or Delilah, one of the twins. She could not stop crying. And everybody was like, oh my God. I had to close my eyes. I was like, this girl about to welt me up. This girl about to get me, man. She about to get me. I'm like, please. She started shaking, and then her sister took over. They were holding each other. Her sister took over, and her sister got it. Like, yeah, she said, please, please help our daddy. Please help him. She said, he is all we got. And please, please help him. Cause she said, we're scared. And the judge, you can see the judge shaking his head. That judge, I know they almost got the judge crying, yo. They almost did. They almost did because they almost got me. They literally almost got me. I was like, oh my God, yo, would she please stop? Like, no. Chance did very well. His daughter Chance, she was strong. She was very articulate. All of them were, but Chance, she really did her thing. Chance did. And Quincy. Quincy was the first one to set it off. They went by age. That's what they did. They went by age. Quincy was first because he's the oldest. Justin, Christian, Chance, and Jesse and Delilah. That was in that order. But Chance is very articulate. And the way she spoke, You should have saw how Diddy was looking. He was like, he was shaking his head. He was like, "Man, I'm putting them through some bullshit." He said, "This is crazy." But he was like, he was like, man, he was crying. He was crying. And then he was trying to console him. You know what I'm saying? He could not touch him, but he was trying to like, he was looking at him like, y'all, you know. But one thing about his kids though, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It was it was Quincy. It was Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, and Jesse and Delilah in that order. Yeah, Christian spoke. And Christian, he almost got people crying. I was like, bro, what are they doing? They trying to get people to cry. He was like, he said, that's my twin over there. Everybody started laughing because they do look alike. They do. He was like, that's my twin. And he said, I want my twin back. And you should have saw Diddy, man. He was shaking his head. He was like, yo, I just want my twin back. He said, but I can say this. He is different. He said he don't he acts different around. He said he's different. He said he's not the same man anymore. He's different. And he said I just want my twin. He said, I be thinking about my twin. He said I want my twin back. He said, he said people call us twins, because they are. That's a spitting image of Diddy. When Diddy was younger, they looked just alike. The next trial is Luigi. Either Luigi or the Gilgo Beach guy. Or D4VD, David. Oh man, you talking about humble. He said it. He said, I am humbled and broken. Oh no, Diddy said he was scared straight. I believe him. Diddy, listen, he was scared today. He was. He was scared because he didn't know what was gonna happen. He didn't know what time he was getting. And that's why it took him a little bit to get up, but he had to though, because his kids did their thing. So he had to set it off like at the end. And Nicole Westmoreland, his lawyer, she cried the entire time speaking. She was crying the entire time. She almost couldn't get through her speech. She was crying so much. She was crying. And of course Brian still did his thing. Of course you know that. Come on, Brian. You know how Brian, he did his thing. Um Xavier Donaldson did well. But man, Jason Driscoll, he's the youngest lawyer. He went up there and just really did his thing. He just really did it. But yeah, that's what he was like. Hopefully they can learn, right? Because they was like, our dad made some mistakes. He did. They said it. Our dad made some mistakes, but he's a changed man, and we would like him back. They knew their dad messed up. They knew it. They weren't oblivious to it. They knew it because they said it. And yeah, this was really. He was really. I don't know. He just didn't know what the judge was going to do. He did not know. He did not know because the judge said to him, right, look, this is when he gave him the sentence. The judge said, Mr. Combs, because of this and this and this, he said, I must give you a hefty sentence, a lengthy sentence. You should have saw Diddy's face. He was like, what? He said, I must give you a lengthy sentence. And then he said, for this, this, and this, the sentence must be lengthy. Now, at that point, everybody's like, oh my God, he about to get 10 years. He about to get 11. He about to get whatever the prosecutor said, 11, 12 years, right? He said, it must be lengthy. It must be. So Diddy, he like looking like, oh my God, right? So then the judge said, okay, here's your sentence. I'm gonna give you 50 months. Diddy looked like everybody was doing the math, like, oh my God, thank you. He was like, okay, now we got something to work with. Okay. We got the sentence, 50 months. And he said, anybody object to that? He said this, he said to the prosecutor, do you object to this? They said, no, Your Honor, we don't object to it. But you know what the prosecutor said? She said, Mr. Combs is the type of person where he's not going to go back to jail. They said this as far as the recidivism rate. She said he's not going to go back. She said studies have shown people like him, he's never going back to jail. He's learned his lesson. He's never going back. They said it. I don't know when Luigi start. They haven't set a date yet. But I'm gonna have to get my press credentials before Luigi so I can actually sit with the press. And I wish I had my press credentials today because I could have went in earlier. Because my feet were killing me standing out there. I wish I did have my press pass. Because they were letting the press in first. So I am gonna go get my press credentials. I'm gonna do it this week. No, I'm gonna do it next week. He has, well, as far as prison time he has to serve, it's about, just put it this way, 2028 is his release date. Because we're about to go into, we're almost done with this year, right? Then you got 26. I'll say roughly around 2028 or sooner. So 2.5 some years. It could be sooner. It just depends on what program he gets into to shave his time off. And I'm sure he's gonna want to get into the domestic programs and the drug program while he in there. And it was another program, and he gets some time shaved off once he completed. You know what? I haven't checked on Dirk in a minute. I have to check. I do know he has a really good attorney, Drew Feenley. Well, he will get. He got time served of. He got. He got time served, which was I would say they say 12 months. I say 13. So he got time served. And the rest of the time he gotta give them some time. So 2.5 some years to give him. And then the rest is supervised release. But they were trying to get him out today, though. They really tried. His lawyers really tried to get him that 14 months. Because if they had sentenced him to 14 months, he would have got out. Well, no, his mom didn't speak. She was there. He said if you're over 50 years old, you serve. I didn't know that. He said, or if he gets an appeal. Yeah, I mean, he can work the appeals process, see what happens, work the appeals. But I'm telling you, he was somewhat relieved because he didn't know what he was about to get sentenced to. He was sitting there, he was looking straight ahead, he wasn't moving. That judge said, he said, for this, Mr. Combs, you must get a lengthy sentence. It must be lengthy. Now, when he heard that, I know he was like damn near levitating out of his body. He was damn near levitating, man, because I was levitating for him because he said it must be lengthy. And then he said, for that other reason, for that, your sentence has to be lengthy. It has to be. He said it has to be lengthy. So imagine what he was thinking at that point. He thought he was going to get about 12 years. Easy. And then the judge said 50 months. I said, okay. I don't know where he'll be doing this time. I have no idea. And I have no idea when they're going to move him. Usually don't take that long unless they try to fight to keep him where he is pending appeal. So I don't know. I have no idea when he gonna. Well, we'll know once he get moved. We'll know. But yeah, man, it's like just the whole case, man. It was a learning experience. Um, but guys, there was a lot of people today. It was more people than normal, which is okay because it's sentencing. They had multiple overflow rooms, multiple overflow rooms. Yeah, so I'm not sure when he's gonna get moved. I don't know, Christy. You said that. I'm not sure when he get moved, man. I'm not sure, but we'll know at some point. I don't know. They might try to keep him where he is since he got that program he started. He started a program there, and he's teaching a business course. And they said that they haven't had no fights recorded since he been doing it. No fights whatsoever. So he's teaching them stuff about business and different things like that. Um, yeah, so they are. But I'm not sure where they moving him to though. Not sure. Yeah, they probably will fight to keep him there during the appeal so they'll be closer to him. Yeah, they said they ain't had no fights in that unit. They said everybody is just, enjoying the course that he teach. And that's a way to keep him occupied, teaching or whatever, give him something to do while he's like doing his time. You said good grief, Max. Luigi is only 27 years old. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But that's the next trial that I'm probably gonna be at is Luigi. But guys, it was like crazy today. So many people online. But the courtroom I was in was pretty chill. It was real quiet. People were just sitting there listening, but it was like literally like you could hear a pin drop. But when he was actually speaking, nobody was talking. You could hear a pin drop because everybody wanted to hear what he had to say. Puff. You said nobody wants to leave that unit because they said he get it's called free game with Puff. That's what the program is called. He giving a free game. And one of the inmates named it that. Free game with Puff. So I don't he teaching them something. Somebody was like, what is he gonna do when he get out? Well, he got the supervised release. He probably just chill, rehab, continue to rehab, stuff like that. Just lay low. But yeah, it was kind of exhausting, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. Are you going back to Jersey? I'm in Jersey now. You said the violence is on the other side of the building. That's why. Damn. Yeah, Puff not on that side. Yeah, man. You talking about tired? It's because I got there early and I just had to deal with all these people around. It was crazy because it took a long time to stand online to get in. Took about an hour actually. You said 50 months. He's happy. I bet he leaves the country as soon as he get. Well, he was kind of like in shock still because the way that the judge was talking. He said, "I'm gonna give you a lengthy sentence. This requires a lengthy sentence." Guess it was like a delayed reaction because he like, wait a minute, 50 months. It probably sounded like 50 years to him until he did the calculations in his mind. He's like, okay, I could do that. That's reasonable. But yeah, it was that's pretty much what happened. Few YouTubers I saw showed up. Tisa was there. A couple other people showed up for the last day. Yeah. I know, Sharice, it does seem like it went fast. Yeah, he got like 12 to 13 months time served. So which means he has to do two and a half some years because he got sentenced to 50 months minus the time served, and then from there, you can calculate, see how much time. But yeah, he don't have that. Well, yeah, because everybody's like, wait a minute, let's do the calculations. What's going on? Because I thought for sure he was gonna say 100 months or something crazy. What's up, sexy star? I thought for sure he gonna say 100 and some months, but he dropped below. But yeah, guys, that was it, man. Next step is, I guess, he appeal it, stuff like that. But guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys joining. I'll be back again to tell you some more stuff like that I missed as far as my observations. Oh, I did see his kids in the break room. They were pretty much being friendly with everybody. You could tell like the weight was off their shoulders. They were talking more, stuff like that. people saying they did a good job. They actually appreciated people saying that, especially the girls did. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys later. You said long day. Yeah, this long day was saying it was crazy. Long day was filled with people. But I saw what's his name there. He's a vlogger. He know Gene and stuff. Unique Mecca Audio. He was there. Yep, Unique Mecca Audio. Um, Torre was there. A few other people. But all right, y'all. I definitely will catch you guys on the next installment. Y'all have a good night.